Good evening, I'm your host, Jacobo Garrido, and welcome to this week's national news segment brought to you by L28 News. We have pressing stories unfolding across the nation, a wildfire scorching the hills of Malibu, a major break in a high-profile murder case, and a state proposal aimed at tackling social media's impact on mental health. Let's dive into this week's episode. We begin in Malibu, where the Franklin fire has rapidly exploded to 2,800 acres since igniting last week. Fueled by relentless Santa Ana winds and critically dry vegetation, the blaze spread at a terrifying pace, forcing the evacuation of over 5,000 residents. Fire crews are fighting around the clock to contain the flames, but the steep, rugged terrain is making their efforts exceedingly difficult. Several homes in the Latigo Canyon and Escondido Beach areas have been reduced to ash, and power outages are complicating evacuation orders. Fortunately, no fatalities have been reported so far, though some residents have suffered minor injuries. Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency, mobilizing additional resources, including water-dropping helicopters and support from neighboring fire departments. Climate experts warn that this latest blaze is part of a growing trend of longer, more intense wildfire seasons exacerbated by drought and rising temperatures. Residents are urged to follow updates closely and prepare for potential evacuations, as winds are expected to intensify through the weekend. We'll continue to monitor this disaster and provide updates as the situation unfolds. In a dramatic development, authorities have arrested Luigi Mangione in connection with the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Thompson, a key figure in the healthcare industry, was gunned down on a Manhattan sidewalk under suspicious circumstances, sparking a nationwide investigation. The shooter, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, was found with a 3-page letter in which he lamented the high cost of healthcare in the U.S., singling out United Healthcare as the main culprit. The killing has since sparked a growing concern over the violent expression of widespread anger at the insurance industry. He was arrested last week on Monday after being spotted in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, over 230 miles away from the scene of the crime. Mangione faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder, and is being held without bail as the investigation continues. Legal experts predict a high-profile trial, and will continue to follow this case and bring you the latest developments as they emerge. Closing out tonight's coverage, California is taking a bold step in addressing the mental health crisis linked to social media use, particularly among teenagers. Lawmakers are considering legislation that would require platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook to display mental health warnings similar to caution labels found on cigarette packaging. These warnings would alert users to the potential risks of excessive social media use, including anxiety, depression, and the negative impacts on self-esteem. This proposal comes on the heels of recent studies showing alarming trends. Teenagers are spending more than 3 hours daily on social media and are twice as likely to experience mental health issues compared to their peers who use it sparingly. Critics, however, worry that these labels might be ignored or that the measure doesn't go far enough to address the underlying causes of digital addiction. If passed, California would become the first state to inform such regulations, potentially setting a nationwide precedent. The tech industry is watching closely, with major social media platforms pushing back, citing concerns over free speech and the effectiveness of warnings. The debate highlights a growing call for accountability in the digital space and a need to protect young people from the hidden dangers of social media. We'll continue to keep you updated as the bill moves through the legislature. That wraps up tonight's national news segment here on L28 News. From a wildfire raging in Malibu to a significant breakthrough in a high-profile murder case to our state's proposal to addressing social media's impact on mental health, we'll continue to keep you updated on these stories and more as they unfold. I'm Jacobo Garrido, and on behalf of the entire L28 team, thank you for tuning in, stay safe, and good night. If you want to stay informed on the latest news impacting our country, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by scanning the QR code below.